Yo, 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 what's up everyone, and welcome to my review for Straight Outta Compton, and I'm your crazy motherfucker named Gore. That's me. So, let's talk about this movie, because I'm really excited to, because I saw it a few days ago, didn't get a chance to review it then, because I was not feeling well, but I am feeling perfect. Well, okay, not perfect, but I'm feeling a good 90%. So let us talk about Straight Outta Compton, the NWA movie, the rise and fall of NWA, all the members that consist of NWA, and I just want to talk about this movie because it's pretty good. The story for Straight Outta Compton is the NWA rise and fall story that we haven't had in a movie ever, I don't think. Like, we probably had documentaries here and there, but we've never had an actual movie. And this rap group has existed, well, not existed, they're disbanded now, but they've been a thing for over 25 years at this point. So you would think that someone would have made a movie like 10 years ago, 15 years ago, but no, it took them this long to make a movie about this really interesting story about this rap group that came up from 5 guys that were just, small guys, of course. Most people go from rags to riches in their careers. Some others don't, like Kim Kardashian, but I don't even know why I brought her up. Who cares? But these guys really was rags to riches. It really was, especially with the 3 main guys, which we didn't really get to explore MC Ren or DJ Yella, 2 of the other members of the group. Dr. Dre, Ice Cube, and Eazy-E. Those are the 3 main characters of this film. MC Ren and DJ Yella both are kind of not explored as well, which is probably my only gripe with this film. But I'm really the only gripe with this film. But it really is a story about rags to riches. You get to see these people as who they were, which doesn't mean they're the most likable people. Definitely not. There's a lot of parts where you can argue that they were terrible people. They were misogynistic. Definitely were. And even just shitty friends at times even. Especially with Eazy-E and everybody else, because he kind of screwed people over. But it's just a really interesting story to unfold. I mean, to watch unfold. And the actors do a fantastic job. You have Ice Cube's son playing his father in this, and I mean, first, he looks exactly like his dad, he acts exactly like his dad, and he does a great job. He really embodies his own father, which sounds weird, but he does a great job, and everybody else is great too. I wish I had all their names here. The guy that played Eazy-E, Dr. Dre, hey, even MC Ren and DJ Yellow, who I don't really know that much of. I don't know their backstories and all that. Eazy-E I actually knew a little bit before, and of course Dr. Dre and Ice Cube I knew about, but I didn't really know much about DJ Yellow or MC Ren, but they were both really good, even though, like I said, their character or their personalities weren't really explored that well. They were still really good in this film. Like, all of the 5 were great in this. Now, who really knocks out of the park in this movie and made me really feel for the person was Jason Mitchell, who plays Eazy-E in this film. He is fantastic in this film. He's so good. He gives the character a lot more depth than I thought, like, the movie was going to give him. You feel for him, definitely. Like, I'm not going to say too much about him, like what happened to him, but you feel for him when that happens towards later in the film. You're like, oh man, even though he like throughout the film he's kind of screwing his friends over and he's kind of a dick, there's times where you feel bad for him. You know why he does what he does, and there's even parts where he's kind of a cool guy, especially to his friends. So even though he screws his friends over sometimes, he's still like apologetic and actually like knows that he screwed up. And there's a big scene later on in the film where he actually gets some redemption with another character that's been screwing him over for years, and it's a really good scene. He's really good in this, and maybe it does help that I'm not gonna say that, because if you don't know anything about NWA, I really highly recommend seeing this anyway. So you get caught up, you listen to the music in the movie, which, by the way, every time they play a song in this movie, it's fantastic. There's a whole part where they play F the Police. I'm not gonna say it, even though I curse in my reviews all the time, but there's a part where they play that, and when they eventually actually live play it in the movie where it's a concert, it's a really powerful moment. It's really good. It's actually like, I love goosebumps. Like, I was just like getting goosebumps, like, oh, they're gonna play it, and they're like, F the police. They said, F it, F them, and then everybody's like, yeah, F them, screw those guys. I was like, I agree. Anyway, so yeah, all the live performances were great. But really, Jason Mitchell, that guy really needs to get some more roles, because he is really good in this film as Eazy-E. Also, I should mention this, that besides Ice Cube's son, everybody else looks exactly like who they're supposed to be. Like the guy that played Dr. Dre, DJ Yella, MC Ren, and Eazy-E, they all look like who they were supposed to be. So they nailed that. They cast it perfectly. They got good actors. They got some great writing here with some really good dialogue, and they got some great, lookalikes. So perfect job with the casting. It's a really good job here. So yeah, all the NWA members are great in this film. Someone else I thought that was really good was Paul Giamatti, who plays the manager for NWA, and he is really good in this as well. I haven't seen Paul Giamatti be really good in a movie since probably Win-Win, which came out a couple years ago. Don't get me wrong, he's still good in movies like, like San Andreas and stuff like that. But he was really good in this, I thought. There's a whole part where the entire group gets harassed by police, and they have to go on the ground and stuff because the police are being dicks. And he comes out and he's pissed. He's like, hey, you can't just do that because of the color of their skin. And you can see he's really mad about it. His character or his person, and let's just say in the terms of a movie, his character, because he's a real person, I can't say he's just a character, but I'll just say it anyway, his character is one of those managers that you think is going to be scummy, and he is in parts, but he's not just a typical scummy one. You could tell that he at least cares for Eazy-E. At least him, you could tell he kind of cares for him. And he even cares for some of the other ones, and he doesn't like how the police do treat black men, because he even has a whole racial thing going against him because he's Jewish. So I thought that was really interesting. So yeah, the cast, the live performances, the acting, the writing, the direction in this movie is great. F. Gary Gray comes back with a vengeance because he hasn't had a pretty good movie in a very long time, even though I like Law Abiding Citizen. That's just me. But yeah, he hasn't had a good movie in a really good, legitimately good movie in a very long time, I feel. And this is a fantastic one, man. This movie is so freaking good. And really my only problem is that DJ Yella and MC Ren weren't explored as much. But still, what they did in the 2.5 hours that they had here was really incredible. They made us really like characters, even though they might be flawed characters. You still really like them. You get a lot of emotion. You get a lot of great performances, a lot of great music, just some great cinematography. You get a lot of nudity. Hell yeah. That's a nudity dance. I trademarked that. Don't fucking use it. But, oh, I cursed. Shit. Ah, fuck. Whatever. So yeah, you get a lot of that, and it's just a great film. I really love this film, and it's one of the best of this year. It's in probably my top 5. I said on Twitter it was in my top 3, but I have to rethink that. But I think it probably is. It's only bested by Inside Out and Mad Max, which are two totally different films. Inside Out was a little bit more violent, I thought. But yeah. So, both very similar in tone, because both of them made me cry like a little bitch at the end. I'm going to give this movie, oh man, I want to give it a 40 out of 40, but I really, really wanted them to explore MC Ren and DJ Yella a little bit more, because I felt like by the end, they had a decent emotional scene towards the end, but it was towards another character, if that makes sense. So that was cool, but that was the last time you see them, and I don't know, I just felt like I wanted to know them more. Maybe they were dicks, I don't know, maybe they were assholes, maybe they didn't want to contribute to the movie, and that meant, hey, we have to acknowledge them, but we don't need to actually have them in the movie that much. Maybe that was it, but it was a little negative to the film, but it wasn't that much of a negative, because I'm going to give this a 38 out of 40. Great film, fantastic film. I highly recommend this movie. Straight Outta Compton is a terrific movie. Almost, I wouldn't say perfect, but almost to the 40 out of 40, which even when I give things 40 out of 40, that doesn't mean they're perfect. That just means, to me, they do everything right, at least, everything right. Maybe not everything perfectly, but there was nothing that I really hated or disliked or wanted more of. So, yeah, there you go. That's my review for Straight Outta Compton. I hope you enjoyed it, and until next time, go see this film. Don't go see Fantastic Four, but you're already doing that, because this movie, I think, made more in its weekend than Fantastic Four will probably do in the entirety of its run in North America, which is so good. Thank you. So anyway, there you go. Thank you. Until next time, goodbye.